For You is a Rockschool Grade 2 song, and have a read of the overview. There's all sorts of R&B artists that you can look up. Yeah, I agree, it's definitely an electronic influence, so there's a lot of drum machines and very precise, tight sort of drumming. Have a look at the style focus, and what's most important is recommended listening. That's always good. And it basically starts off with a straight eighths or quaver type groove here, with the bass and the snare on the 1 and the 3 of the quavers, and then there's an open hat here, more of the same. There's a hat, snare, bass there, another open hat here, an extra bass drum there, and then you got crash, hat, snare, ha ha hat, bass, snare, hat, where that's 1 and 2 and E3 and 4, and I typically play this with a bass, hat, snare, right, left, right, and then your right is staying on the hats for the remainder there. And you have the same situation here, where you go bass, hat, snare, right, left, right, right, snare, hat. Then it just locks in with bass drums, 4 bass drums with the crotchets or the quarter notes. And then you got the same little semi-quaver hat here, open hat, semi-quaver hat again, and then you got a crash bass, crash bass, crash bass, crash bass. Then you sit on this groove with a hat, snare and bass on the 3rd stroke, or on the 3 and the 4. Open hat there, more of the same, open hat, more of the same. Then you got a flam, and a flam is where you got a crotchet or an anything, and there's a little bit before it, and that little bit is a ghost. So that's a flam, rest, rest, and 4 and. So that's a crotchet rest is this 3 looking shape, you could call that. Underneath here, this block here is a semi-breve rest, which accounts for 4 crotchets in the top line of the stave, or the top part of the stave. So that's 1, 2, 3, and that's a rest. That's a quaver rest, or an 8th note rest. And then you got and 4 and with the snare, snare, tom 1 or high tom. Then you're in the right section, crash, and then pretty much read vertically, of course, top to bottom. You do everything in that visual field. So that's a crash bass, ride, and then a ride snare, ride bass, ride snare, ride. Carries along here, pretty much more of the same. Then ride here again, then snare, snare, 1, 1, crash, 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 and that's how it ends.
For you, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.